Mahoraga. This is a being that can adapt to anything you can think of, and I mean anything. I'm talking about if he had a court case, that guy Mahoraga is adapting to the law. If your room is pitch black, that guy Mahoraga will adapt to see in the dark. I mean, the guy adapted to being in water and grew gills for flip's sake. Long story short, Mahoraga is that guy. Now, you know Mahoraga just be stacking bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. I mean, the Zenin blessing? Are they sure about that? Sounds like a curse to me. Like, Mahoraga does not mess with the Zenins at all. Its sole purpose is legitimately to end Zenin members. Seems Mahoraga is doing the Operation Zero Zenin plan. Hey, shout out to Mazu. But you guys might have heard about the Blu-ray of Jujutsu Kaisen episode where Mahoraga and Sukuna fought each other. I mean, you've got to have seen it by now. If you haven't, what are you doing? That was one of the greatest fights I've seen in my life, and I genuinely mean it. Everything was so crisp. I was in awe. This Mahoraga was able to go toe to toe with Sukuna, 15 fingers, which is kind of crazy. It's actually really wild. And they even went on to add extra scenes. You'd think that it's an exposed video, the way they were letting Sukuna cook this guy. But let's really take in what happened in that fight from the top. And I actually want to see if we can get around 300 likes. I ain't uploaded in a minute, but I'm coming back. I'm here just to bring some bangers for you guys, and we're almost at 30k subscribers, so see if we can help a brother out. Let's get into it. Megumi brings him out because obviously he was about to die, but my word, you think Mahoraga was told swipe or no swiping the way he swiped Megumi out of the frame? I never knew that someone could get cooked that fast. Like, he just spawned onto the earth. Like, please, just a couple seconds, please. And then there's Haruta, or as I like to call him, Laruta, man. That guy's a big L. He already was in his mind like, yeah, I don't want to mess with this guy. And damn right he didn't, because if he did, it was a GG's. Good night, partner. So this stare down was hilarious because look at the size of Big Raga the Upstopper, and he's just a menace. Mahoraga was invited to the cookout, except he was the one getting cooked. I mean, he had the open toes out, showing hella teeth. He looked like he was ready, man. But he proceeded to get chopped like a fish. Sukuna wasn't about wasting time. He really wanted to humble this Mahoraga guy fast. So Mahoraga is my Olympian. I'll be honest with you guys, he's my Olympian for real. Look at the way Mahoraga was exchanging blows with Sukuna here. You'd think that Nomi versus All Might was happening right in front of our faces again. I mean, they were trading blow for blow. But obviously Sukuna was cutting them the F up. So being wrapped and flinged, Sukuna never had respect, and it showed. Mahoraga was throwing everything like body adapted to being the world's best baseball pitcher. Look at the recoil that this guy was grabbing the cars with. You'd think that he was grabbing some toilet paper to wipe his ass. This guy is an absolute unit. And it didn't matter because Sukuna pretty much treated this guy like he's playing some Fruit Ninja. All the cars you're throwing I can react to and I could chop up, and then I could get you too. I know Sukuna must have a crazy record on that game. But the reason Mahoraga makes me laugh is because while saying nothing the whole fight, he just sticks his head back together like it's nothing. It's actually hilarious. Just slides it back on, zoop, and he looks hench. God damn, he looks hench. Like, Uncle Mahoraga went crazy to the point where he exerted himself a bit too much and ended up throwing up. I didn't know Shikigami couldn't even throw up in the first place. But I guess you learn something new every day. That's mad. I know Mahoraga vs Sukuna was cool and all, but these fights were pretty much demonic. Someone tell me why these people had to get caught up in the crossfire. Look at this. This guy probably thought it was a regular day at work, and now he's hanging from a building fighting for his goddamn life, and it ends up falling. I can't lie, that was a deep sight, bro. So I'm not gonna lie, this caused a little bit of PTSD hitting right now. I mean, even the way the buildings are falling, if you know, you know. It doesn't look good at all. So the more Mahoraga fought, the more he was pushing Sukuna back, and Uncle Mahoraga was so on timing that he turned the train into some kind of handheld device while trapping Sukuna inside of it. This was outrageous in of itself, and I'll be honest, what on earth is that? How can I just put you inside a train and then squeeze the train like it's a wet towel and toss you into another universe, another galaxy? People are screaming and Sukuna is just laughing. And Mahoraga is fighting for his goddamn life. He would get chopped up and come back again and again. Like, I gotta use the RE0 sound effect for this guy because he can't keep coming back like this. Now, this specifically is where I believe the Blu-ray actually cooked. The face-to-face between the two was crazy cold, sizing each other up that you'd think Mahoraga adapted to being a gangster now. The hand-to-hand that was shown on display to show Uncle Mahoraga can fight with no limbs as well and still apply pressure, I was moved because this ain't normal. But Mahoraga definitely lost like 10,000 aura points, man. It's not his fault, but that Sukuna pump fake was like Zlatan pump faking the cameraman multiple times. Or when Gogeta decided to do Kamehameha bluff and hit Omega Shenron with some party tricks. Mahoraga did the flinch of death trying to protect himself and then got boomed with the slash being horizontal instead of vertical. And Mahoraga started punching the air. And you know it's crazy because he's not punching the air because he's angry. He's punching the air because he needs to protect himself from these slashes that are borderline invisible. But he still gets slashed. And that wouldn't be the last time. When the punches were constantly coming in, Sukuna just pointed at him. Like as if he was doing some orchestra type stuff. Like telling him to dance, boy, dance. Mahoraga even got this guy with an uppercut eventually, straight into the gut, and he needed it. But Sukuna smiled. This sick man. Getting Mahoraga's point of view did not help whatsoever at all, because we got to see he was really fighting something effed up. Even drop kick to the face and all. Then leveled up like he's Mario. You know when he gets that special mushroom and returning back to normal size when you're already small? That's kind of how I envisioned Mahoraga doing, right? So you know what he proceeds to do? He proceeds to throw Sukuna into a plane, and that was diabolical in of itself. But even though Mahoraga is doing all these adaptamentations, because he got a dirty reverse, and this is what I mean by Sukuna bullied this man the whole time. But Mahoraga, that guy just doesn't quit. You know, I respect Mahoraga because this is next level dedication. No cap, I would go as far as to say he's inspirational. Going into the water, showing off your gills, adapted to being a fish to clear the water. Disgusting amount of dedication. He's fucking it out like crazy. Like, I see him throwing everything at this man, to the point where this part made me laugh so much that I could not believe Mahoraga somehow out of nowhere learned Soul Punisher and tried to erase Sukuna's soul. Like, look at the move. This is literally Soul Punisher. I don't know when he went to Dragon Ball to try and adapt the fusion and then try and adapt the, you know, the techniques that Gogeta has, but he was able to use it against Sukuna. But I mean, Sukuna dodged it, innit? So I guess Mahoraga didn't fully adapt it to that degree. Hey Mahoraga, better luck next time. Just ask Gogeta for a couple more tips and you might be able to make it out. And just because of that, he ate a grenade to the face. Like, somebody save this man. Again, Mahoraga then revives and these two are loving it. Mahoraga looking like after thousands of years, finally someone giving me some fun, head ass. And Sukuna aura feels like you just want to put this guy in a pack. So a pack is what he decided to create. Summoned his domain expansion to completely dissolve Mahoraga. But somehow, Mahoraga kept walking through this domain expansion and regenerating. If I was Sukuna, I would have had enough of this BS right now. How are you adapted to my domain? That's ludicrous. And Mahoraga looks betrayed, as if Sukuna cheated, using the domain on me? I thought we were friends. Sukuna had no attachment to Uncle Mahoraga whatsoever, and they shared a smile, but that didn't mean nothing. I mean, look what happened to Mahito. So to make sure things are done in accordance, he made sure to let off the arrow of death, which was the flame that he got from opening the box, Fuga, just to finalize the dish and finish the cooking that he originally served. In the process, there was some additional ingredients, you know, being the humans, the buildings around him, but Sukuna didn't really care. Like, was the main dish not enough? How greedy. Everyone got caught up, and that is when my goat got sent to the Shadow Realm. Mahoraga, yourself should be up very well. Because of it, we see one of the greatest fights in anime hands down. Now, manga wise, Mahoraga is all about having fun, man. You know, he is what I call let loose, and is free from the chains of mediocre bums of that side of the family, if you know what I'm saying. And you know, he's in good hands to a certain individual. Banished him into the Shadow Realm without any recovery. Imaginary technique, hollow purple. That's a little bit of a hint, man. Mahoraga was such a good guy, man. I mean, he feels like an OG, a veteran in the community, and he passed away. Honestly, even with my honest opinion, I think Mahoraga did nothing wrong. You know, blame that guy Megami. He's the one that casted him out in the first place. So Uncle Mahoraga, I hope you rest in peace, man. And that is literally the effect that Mahoraga has had on everyone. I think a lot of people are thinking Mahoraga is someone that is a big threat, you know, even being able to oppose Sukuna, and he's able to cause so much destruction and damage with himself alone, adapting to any situation, and can be a very good tool to have. I think that is why everyone in the community loves him, because it's to the point where it's funny in the way that he moves and shifts his body. Even some of the animation makes him look so cartoonish, you know, like you shouldn't be able to do that, but he does, even though he looks so brolic in nature. So yeah, that is why Mahoraga is loved, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong. I don't think he even did anything wrong. So yeah, and if you want to see any other effect characters I've had in Jujutsu Kaisen and anime as a whole, watch this video right here on the screen and comment down below a quick suggestion of what you might want me to cover when it comes to characters that has an effect. And like I said to the new old people, don't come and visit my channel. Jana.